Hello everyone, my name is Saqib Khan and I am an immigration consultant. I have brought this video to help people who are trying to make their minds or decide about their Canadian immigration prospects. Before you approach any immigration consultancy or want to do it on your own, there are a few things that you need to know about the immigration system in order to ensure that you are on the right path. Okay, many people do it the other way. They go to the immigration consultant and then they ask the immigration consultant about suitable plans for them. The immigration consultants are in the business to make money. Okay, so if they find your profile to be unsuitable for almost all the plans available, then they would find it hard to turn you down. They will say that, okay, we'll do something. And then they'll hook you up to their consultants and their agents. And eventually, you would not be benefited by a subscription with them. So there is some homework that you need to do on your own if you want to start your immigration plan. This video is absolutely for that particular purpose. After watching this video, you can come to a conclusion whether you fit the requirements, you meet the requirements, or you are the person who can plan for it. And if so, you can then decide if you want to hire an immigration consultant or you want to go ahead on your own. Okay, so this is a very simplified version of the immigration plan that you want to make. You need to know everything about this video. It's very easy. I'm trying to keep it under 5 minutes so that you don't get bored. I'm not going to pitch for subscriptions or for likes or for comments. Okay, do it if you want to, otherwise I have no problem. Okay, so there are mainly two programs in Canadian immigration, the Express Entry and the Provincial Nomination Program. Express Entry is run by the federal government, okay, and therefore it's known as the Federal Skilled Worker Program. There are different categories for inland and outland applicants, but basically let's talk about the outland applicants like us, we people who don't live in Canada, haven't been there, okay, we haven't gone there for education, work permit or anything like that, and we are looking forward to availing opportunities to go to Canada. Okay, so express entry is an ideal option. We'll discuss the eligibility and requirements for that as well. And the second one is Provincial Nomination Program, often known as PNP. Okay, you may have heard this word. Like for those people who are not making it to the express entry, people suggest, why don't you apply for PNP? Okay, so can you apply for PNP? What is a PNP, or is it for everyone? We are going to discuss that in this video as well. Let us start with the express entry. Okay, so who are eligible for the express entry? Before I discuss the eligibility criteria, I want to make a point over here that there is a huge difference between being eligible and being shortlisted, okay, being picked up. It's just like, getting a pass score in an exam and getting a top score, or being in the top score, being in the league of high achievers. There's a huge difference over there. Being eligible, you be in the pool. There is a huge pool wherein all the applicants they come and join, and from the pool people are shortlisted based on the requirements. So they have a cutoff score. The Canadian immigration, they put a cutoff score, and based on that score they filter and pick up candidates from the top. Yeah. So the highest scoring candidate, the first 2,000 candidates on the top, let's say, if they want to pick up 2,000 in one particular draw, so those people will be picked up. Let us talk about the eligibility. Eligibility is like any age. You can be of any age. You can be 20, 25, 30, 35, does not matter. You need to have a secondary school certificate. That's the minimum requirement. And you need to have an IELTS score of CLB 7, which means you need to score 6 bands each in listening, reading, writing, and speaking modules of your IELTS. You should have at least 1 year's work experience in a profession that is classified as NOC O, A, or B. So these are the categories in which you need to have your profession. NOC, it means NOC stands for National Occupation Code. So O is the highest categories for senior managers and directors of companies. A is for people who can be managers and supervisors. Other people also, even teachers get into this category A. B categories for supervisors and other people. C and D categories also exist, but they are for semi-skilled workers or workers of very lower category. So you need to have 1 year's experience in these categories of work. or occupation, you need to have an IELTS score of CLB 7, a high school or a secondary school diploma certificate. You can be of any age. You can start an express entry profile. Okay, but that does not guarantee or does not mean that you're eligible to be picked up. So what does it mean then? What is required? These days you can see that the express entry cutoff score is somewhere around 470. So if you have your CRS score around 470 or above, or let's say 467, 468 above, in that case you stand an opportunity of being selected. Okay, otherwise it's really difficult. You can't expect to have a CRS score, okay, a comprehensive ranking system CRS score of around 390, 400, 410, 420, 30 or 40 and expect that you'll be selected from the pool. How do you get that score? You need to be aged around 30, okay, because you get full score when you are 29 years old. For 29 years old you get 100 points for your age. Thereafter, for every single year you age, you lose 5 points. So when you become 30 years old, you lose 5 points and your score becomes 95 under the age category, then 90, then 85, then 80, and so on. Okay, you need to have a master's degree. I've told you that the eligibility is that you need to have a secondary school certificate, but in order to score high, you need to have a master's degree. Okay, and an IELTS score should be of CLB 9 or 10. For eligibility, it was CLB 7, which means scoring 6 bands in each module. Here, you need to score 8 in listening and 7 in each of the other 3 modules. That's reading, writing, and speaking. And CLB 10 is higher than that. It's 8.5 in listening, 8 in reading, and 7.5 in the other 2. Okay, and you need to have at least 3 years of work experience. In this way, you can max out all the points. Like for example, if you get 3 years work experience or above, you'll max out all the points in the experience category. 3 years and above is same. So even if you have 4, 5, 6, 7 years of work experience, you get same points for your work experience. Okay, and in the same way, if you have CLB 10, that's the maximum points you can get. However, CLB 9 and 10, you have a very slight difference. So if you get a CLB 9, you're still very close. Okay, so this is the ideal profile. And if you are in this category, if you feel that you can get this IELTS score, you have a master's degree, you have 3 years of work experience in those in knock codes that are under O, A, or B categories, then the express entry profile is for you. Okay, otherwise, let's say you're 34 years old, 35 years old, 36 years old, but you can still manage to get some score using French. Like you can learn and show your expertise or proficiency in French language. You can take the French language test and you can get some score. You can get additional points for your French score. There you can compensate for the points lost for your age. Okay, but this is not easy for everyone. You need to start learning a language. You can see that people who have completed 18 years of formal education in English and have obtained a master's degree tend to find it difficult to score a CLB 9 or 10 in English. So you have studied English for 18 years. Your entire education has been in English as a medium of instruction for 18 years, and people struggle to get a CLB 9 or 10. So learning a new language, French, you need to learn to speak, read, write, listen. You need to go for all the 4 modules. That's pretty difficult, but not impossible. There are people who have managed to get at least a decent entry level score after having worked for about 4 to 5 sorry 1 year or 2, not 4 to 5. It's that it's extremely difficult to get a score after studying for 4 to 5 months. Okay, so if this is your profile, or you can get somewhere close to this, that's ideal. Let's say you have a bachelor's degree and you can work on your master's. If you have an IELTS score of CLB 8 and you can improve it to CLB 9, if you have 2 years of work experience and you can make it 3, then you are a candidate who can try for the express entry. Okay, so don't fall for the sugar-coated words of any consultant that it's possible, we'll do it, the score will come down, even if it's 430 or 425, it's fine. Okay, the government is going to change, or after the COVID restrictions are lifted, so things will be drastically different, some miracle will take place and you will be selected. No, don't rely on these things. Okay, so you need to make an informed decision, and I'm here to help you do that. Okay, so if you are in this segment, go for it. Otherwise, no. Now, let us move on. How do we calculate your CRS score? This is the link over here. This link you can use. You need not memorize or copy this. You have Google. You can just go to Google and type CRS Score Calculator, and this link will show up. There you can go and calculate your CRS score based on whatever information I have provided. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of it, of applying under the express entry category? The process is fast. You don't have to wait for a PNP to be approved and then you transfer to express entry and then the entire process goes on. There are no restrictions on provincial stay. So you don't have to stay in a particular province for 2 years and then apply for the citizenship. You can go wherever you want. You can stay in whichever province you get a job opportunity or you have friends or relatives to be with. Your work experience and qualifications needn't be aligned. This is one of the biggest benefits according to many people. Okay. How? Let's say you have a BTech degree, okay, and you are working as a customer service representative or you're working as a sales manager. Your work experience and your educational qualifications aren't aligned. Okay. You are working in a profession for which you don't have any formal education. So therefore, this is something you can manage with. You can go away with. You can easily when you apply through Express Entry. They don't mind. Okay, licensure is not needed. You're a teacher. You need to have a teaching license. You're an engineer. You need to get a license from APEGS, and that's not required for the Express Entry category. You can go there, and if you want to work as an engineer, then you can apply for your licensure and things like that. Okay, so Express Entry is ideal for people whose professions are regulated. It's ideal for people who are around 30 years of age and can get an IELTS score of CLB 9 or 10. It's ideal for people who have a master's degree. Okay, if you don't have these things and you have resources to manage those things, like you have 2 years time to get your masters, or you have 6 to 8 months time wherein you can improve and enhance your communication skills and get a better IELTS score, then Express Entry is for you. Now, provincial nomination program. This is the biggest trap. If you don't fit into the express entry category, most agents or people would suggest you to go for the PNP program. There's a PNP is easy. Let's go for PNP. Okay, we'll put you in PNP. There are so many provinces. We'll do something. We will put you somewhere into. We will ensure that you somehow get into one of the provinces possible. Canada has about 10 provinces and 3 territories. Okay, and all provinces have their own immigration program. Some kind of program is going on. Okay, and conditions vary. It's not like the express entry category or your CRS score itself is not taken for those categories. So your express entry score may not even matter over there. Okay, and most provinces, these are the most important lines. Okay, most provinces seek candidates with job offers. So if you have a job offer from the province, if there is someone who's ready to hire you on a full-time job meeting all the conditions set by the immigration department, then you can be considered. Or you are an international graduate who have studied in that particular province, that also is something you can be helped with. So PNP is not a default go-to program for those who cannot make it via express entry program. So it's not like you don't have the eligibility or you don't meet the requirements of the express entry, you are default eligible for PNP. No, there are several things for PNP. PNP is more difficult. Okay, here for express entry, you need to have some kind of acumen, like you have a rigor to get the IELTS score that's required, or you can work and get your masters and things like that. It's not that difficult to fix a few things. I do understand that there are difficulties, like if you have crossed that age limit, you can't undo your age. Okay, that is something you can't do that. Okay, but there are certain things you can work on. You can work on language, your academic score, work experience. Those things can be better. You can better that. Okay, so unlike the express entry, PNP draws focus on the occupation as well. So the occupation you are into should be in the list of draw. Let's say Saskatchewan is one of the provinces and they hold a draw. They have conducted a draw on 25th of May, yesterday. Okay, the lowest scoring candidate was had 65 points. It was only occupation and demand draw. There were about 15 to 20 occupations selected. Okay, there are several people in the pool of Saskatchewan immigration nomination program. Okay, and they score 65 and above, but they were not selected as their occupation was not picked. So this condition is not there for the express entry. Here for PNP program, you have that condition. You need to satisfy those two things. You need to satisfy your points as well as your occupation. So what can be done now? Look at this one. There are two types of professions. Okay, regulated professions and unregulated. Unregulated, all general professions that you have. Regulated professions are like those of teachers, doctors, engineers. These are all regulated professions. Most provinces do not select, do not nominate, do not go for regulated professions. There are, when I said most, I don't mean never. Okay, there are certain exceptions to that. Engineers are selected. For example, in Saskatchewan, engineers, people with 2173, software engineers and computer programmers, they are all under these categories. Early childhood educators, psychologists, these are people under regulated professions, but still they are selected. Ontario OINP program, engineers, computer engineers, IT people are selected, though it's a regulated profession, but it doesn't happen in most cases. Okay, just a few very highly in demand professions. Okay, so if you are into a regulated profession, you need to see who the regulatory body is and what are the requirements set by the regulatory body. Because if you do not fulfill the requirements of the regulator, you will not be able to get nominated. How to find your NOC code? This is the link, noc.esdc.gc.ca. If you can't memorize this, you can just go Google it, say that find my NOC or NOC finder. You will land onto this page and you can find it. How do you find? I'll just help you. Let's go to that page. Okay, this is the NOC finder page, and here you can find the NOC. Let's say you are working as I was looking for retail sales supervisors. Okay, you're working in a bank. So for example, I just type banking, credit and other investment managers, banking, insurance, other financial clerks. If you're not working in a managerial position, then you select this one. After that, you search it. This is the NOC code 1434. And when you select it, it will pull up the details and it will also let you know the skill level. It is C. So bank clerks are not people who can apply for express entry. Okay, but they can apply for PNP program if the PNP program has something for them. Okay, this 1434 is that. If I go for, let's say, retail and wholesale trade managers, retail sales supervisors. Okay, just now this was the default on my page when we landed over here. You see this one has skill level B, so therefore express entry eligible. Fine, let's go back now. I'll just show you the CRS calculator page. It looks like this CRS calculator. When you start this page and then you start filling all the details, I'll do another video to let you know how to fill this, okay, to find out your CRS score. It's not that difficult. I don't want to make the video very long and boring. Okay, so then the only province that actively invites people, if they do not have a job offer or they do not have any local connection, is the province of Saskatchewan. Therefore, you may hear this word a lot, Saskatchewan, SINP, Saskatchewan Immigration Nomination Program, under the express entry category and occupation in demand category. I'm going to do a separate video to explain Saskatchewan possibilities and what are the conditions for you to meet. Okay, and in this video, I hope that you got some idea about how to evaluate, okay, your profile initially. So initial evaluation has to be done by you. Do not rely upon an immigration consultant to do that, because if you have no idea about it, they may take you for a ride. Okay, and that's what I intend to do over here, that I want to stop you from getting into such kind of traps. I'll see you again in the next video, and the next video will be about Saskatchewan. If you have any doubts, please do comment, and I would try to respond to you and help you out.